You get the grades, you get the degree, you get the job, and you move. C's, they get degrees. And I was declined. I'm gonna end this class with maybe a 50. A 50. So I heard you want to get into nursing school. Is that right? Let me put you on onto how I even managed to get myself into nursing school. What's up, guys, and welcome back to my channel.
Baby, where did these niggas be at when they say they doing all this and all that? Tired of beefing you bums, you can't even pay me enough to react. You're waking up in the crib since I left.
If you're new here, my name is Selina, and thank you so much for stopping by. In today's video, I wanted to share with you guys a little rundown on my nursing school journey. Not the full journey in terms of how I made it through the program. I'm still currently in the program, but my journey on how I got into nursing school, because that in itself needs to be praised, okay? That is also very tiring and a very hardworking process. It takes a lot of hard work and determination to get where I am now. So I wanted to share a little bit of that with you guys, and to help anybody out there who's thinking about getting to nursing school or just even contemplating the thought of becoming a nurse, where to really start. Hopefully this video gives you guys a little bit more inspiration, insight, and hopefully you find it relatable to where you are in your current position. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get to the video. Now, nursing school is definitely a process that requires a lot of thought, and the thing I think a lot of people are getting confused is that it's not just the Stanley cups, the Hoka shoes, the looking cute, getting dressed, the pretty scrubs. It takes so much to mentally and physically put yourself in the position to take care of another individual. Like, this is a life that is in your hands for 12 hours. So I just want people to understand that nursing is a lot more than what it comes out to be on social media and how people portray it to be. Mentally, you really have to be there. You have to be clocked in. You don't have no 15 minutes to sit around. That's your time to give a report. So it's a very fast-paced job. Requires someone who is willing to multitask and just pay attention to a lot of detail. For me, when it came to choosing nursing, I can definitely say I was mostly influenced just by the typical standards of growing up in an African household and being told, well, nursing, engineering, anything in the STEM field is really the way to go. That was kind of my whole mentality in high school, because come high school, although I had a strong passion for different things, I was really arts-based and I was really creative, and I didn't really see myself pursuing anything STEM related, or I didn't think I could pursue anything STEM related. So I limited myself, thinking all I could really see myself doing is maybe a business degree, a marketing degree, something finance related, or even accounting. I was just never one of those kids that had a strong passion or desire to take on anything big or dream big, as they say. I was just ready to live your everyday life. Okay, I was like, I can do anything. I can see myself doing anything. Whatever you put in front of me, I'm gonna do it. You know, I'm just gonna do it. So I took the time to look into nursing a little bit, and I will say at that time, guys, like, picture 17-year-old me just looking through my laptop for at least 5 hours a day trying to figure out what is nursing, like what am I getting myself into. And honestly, around that age, like, we are very much just lost in terms of figuring out what we really want to do. You never really know your future. You never really even know where God wants to place you. So I was very blessed to have my family in helping me choose this career. And the more I started to look into nursing, I realized that this is something I could possibly see myself doing a little bit longer than I thought I could. So I'm not saying I'm going to be doing this thing for at least 50 years, like Auntie Joe in the back. But no, I could maybe do this for a good 10 and probably pursue another area of nursing, or just take my license to another field that it could also be used in. What I'm trying to address is, before you even think about becoming a nurse, I just think it's important for one to sit down and think about the logistics of the degree, why you want this degree, what are the requirements for this degree, what is your end goal or salary by the time you get out of college. I'm glad that I chose something that is very lucrative and I could also formulate a business out of if I wanted to. Okay. So yeah, with nursing, I was just very much open-minded at 17. I really didn't even like school to begin with, but nobody likes school, and that's something we just all have to come to terms with, that you get the grades, you get the degree, you get the job, and you move. In all honesty, I was looking at nursing in terms of just finding a quick way to get out of college. Now, I say quick because in my time in high school, I was doing a early college program. So I know a lot of early college programs right now are offering you to get your associate's degree, which is what I currently obtain. And it was very helpful for me that my school provided that type of program. I was very much against this program for the longest, but when you have African parents, everything is pretty much academically based, and you really just have to take into account where your academics is going to lead you in terms of your future. So I decided to just sit back and accept the fact that I'm in this program for a reason, and that hopefully this associate's degree will get me somewhere farther than my mates. So yeah. So that's pretty much what I did throughout high school. Now, high school was around 2016 to 2020 for me, and I started my associate's degree credits in 2018 because it was a 2-year degree program that I did, and I basically just did the general, everyday math, science, Texas government, US government, your world histories. I did my statistics, I did my geometry, I did my biology labs. I didn't do too much in terms of prepping for nursing school per se, because to be honest, I didn't even look into my school's nursing program till I got to the school. That's just how it was. I wasn't looking into details that I feel like I should have looked into if I really knew where I wanted to go. But then again, that just comes with me being very naive, just living. Like, I was just living it out, guys. I was just your average high schooler trying to get through high school and my associate's degree at the same time. I'm taking my high school classes, and here in Texas, you do need at least 26 credits, I believe, to graduate. So I was taking all of my classes on top of taking at least 2 college courses every 8 weeks. So that was kind of how my schedule was rotating, and I would just consistently enroll in new classes every 8 weeks so that I can get this degree out the way. I wasn't trying to be left behind. So that's how it went for 2 years, and I did that program, and eventually I did end up getting both my diploma and my associates, which this is where the problem comes in, because I was thinking with my associates, oh, I'm going to be way far ahead of everybody going into college. I'm going to be set for life. I'm going to know what I'm doing when it comes to getting this degree. I'm going to be out in three years, right? Wrong. Very wrong. And basically is my associates, because it was a lot of courses that, although were very fundamental when coming to college, like you need all of your English credits, you need all of your math credits, your history credits, all of that. They were very essential. However, because I didn't look into my school's nursing program, or I wasn't just as invested in becoming a nurse at the time, I didn't really take classes that could benefit me in terms of getting into my school's nursing program. So classes such as biology, chemistry, A&P, A&P1, A&P2, I wasn't looking into those, guys. I was just cruising. I was taking what my high school was telling me to take. I was taking the bare minimum. Like, when I tell you I was taking psychology, like sociology, developmental psychology, I didn't want to do too much while also being in high school, because that would just be an extra load. I also didn't want it to affect me graduating high school or just holding me back or anything. So now you can have an associate's degree that can help benefit you into getting into nursing school. A part of me thinks it would have been better for me to do the ADN route to BSN route, but all things work out for the greater good, and I'm happy with the way I ended up getting into this program. So around this time, it's like 2020 when I get my diploma and my associates, and because I technically didn't get the credits I needed to get into the program for my school, I was pretty much starting over, but not starting over. Like, I had the basics, but I was starting over in terms of getting into the program, because I didn't realize with how rigorous my school's program is that, look, you're going to need to do all your science, baby. You're going to need to do your biology, your lab, your chemistry, that lab. Don't forget A&P 1 and 2, and they both have labs. And on top of that, micro has a lab. I was like, okay, this is crazy. You are getting your bachelor's of science in nursing. There is a very strong basis and focus on your chem lab and all of your prerequisite courses. So around this time, it's about 2020 in fall. I had just entered college, so I was starting off with my basics. I was taking biology, I was taking intro to nursing, and just like the little things that would really help build my foundation into getting into nursing school. So as I had a lot of my history, psychology, and all those type of credits out the way, I was immediately just thrown into the science classes. So that's where I was like, okay, this is this is crazy, but you know, we made it work. I got through biology, I got through AMP1, which was not too bad for that fall semester. I got through my intros, and then we eventually made it to spring 2021. Spring 2021, I was finishing up my chemistry lab. I was taking AMP as well, and I was doing what needs to be done, guys. Like, I was hustling, okay? Now, I will say the thing that makes the program drag, at least for me, was the fact that you can't take so many sciences at once. My school only allowed 2 science courses per semester because with how heavy and dense each science class is, some are 3, some are 4 credits, some are 6 credits with lab. So I was told I could only take 2 science credits per semester in order to not overwhelm myself and in order to successfully pass the classes. And I was very much like, you know what? I'm going to take what is necessary. I'm not going to overdo it. I'm not going to overstep, because to be honest, where am I rushing to? I'm still around 18 at this time. Like, where am I going? And who is going to accept a 20-year-old nurse? Like, it's okay. I decided to just chill it out and take classes one at a time. So I took my chemistry. Chemistry, I will say, is, at least for me, was the hardest prerequisite for me to take, just because of, I think it's just me. If you don't know your formulas, just consider it done. Like, you got to know your formulas for that class, most definitely. However, I did end up passing and got C's. They get degrees. C's will get you a degree. Don't let no one tell you that they won't. But we move. Summer comes, and then it is fall of 2021. Fall of 2021, I had to take Anatomy 2, and I also had to take microbiology. So this is where things get a little bit jumpy for me, a little bit chaotic, because 2021 I had a lot to deal with that fall, and I was able to successfully pass my microbiology class, which for me, microbiology was not the hardest to worry about. I really feel like that was the easiest prerequisite for me. Microbiology was really just understanding the microorganisms that can live within our bodies, all the hosts, all the viruses, stuff like that. And for me, at least, it was based on memorization and understanding the different categories and groups. So I was able to really pass that class pretty well, and I was proud of myself on the grade I ended up getting in that course. Now, where I messed up or where I didn't pay attention when it came to applying for nursing school, originally thought I was going to get an A in microbiology, and that would grant me at least a 2.75 GPA, which is the required minimum for my school to get into the nursing program. I had to take AMP2 that same semester. AMP2 came with a lab, so with that, I ended up getting a C, and again, I had so much going on around that time. I wasn't even able to pay attention to the lab, so I wasn't really in it on AMP2, and I ended up getting a C. So I was really hoping that micro was going to hold me over so that I could go ahead and apply for January and get into the school's program by fall of 2022. You see what I mean? So that was the original plan. I really wanted to start in fall of 2022 and close out in May of 2024. So yeah, because I wasn't able to accomplish my AMP2 with a grade that I desired, I kind of made the mistake of already applying to nursing school for the fall 2022 position, and I was declined. Now, being declined from nursing school is a setback. However, I was only declined because I just wasn't paying attention. It wasn't on a basis of, okay. Now, I was only declined because I was not paying attention to the rubric and the guidelines that were suggested by my school's policies. So I applied without looking at my final transcript and looking at my GPA. So once I took a look at that and realized the reason why I was declined for the fall 2022 program, I was okay with that. I understood that I did not pay attention to the guidelines and the principles, and I was ready to come back again, retry taking one of my courses that I had made a C on. That was what the School of Nursing had told me, that, hey, we see you're getting your grades out there. We see that you applied. However, you're not reaching the GPA benchmark. And I was a little bit off because I had a C in chemistry and a C in AMP2. So AMP2, I was like, dang, I really don't want to take this class again. But when I looked at chemistry, I said, I don't want to take this class at all. So I made the decision to retake AMP2 in the spring semester of 2022. This was the biggest mistake of my life because this class, which I thought was going to be so easy because I had an amazing professor the previous semester at fall, turned out to be the worst for me because halfway through the semester, like mid-March, I'm realizing I'm going to end this class with maybe a 50. And that would have completely disqualified me from getting into the program. So what did I do? Just don't be like me, guys. Don't be like me. I withdrew from the course. Now, this was a very well thought out plan. Like, I didn't do this just out of nowhere. I really thought this out. Like, if I don't drop this class and I fail this class, it's gonna go on my transcript and that's gonna mess me up for the next term. So I found it better for me to withdraw and not get a grade and just retake it at a community college in which I could get a grade and hopefully apply by the summer of 2022 to at least get into the spring of 2023's program. My school's nursing cohorts are structured in a way that they start semesters in fall and they start semesters in spring. If you don't apply at winter and summer to get in those cohorts, you're waiting another term, another year, another whole semester. So I was really set back when I was told that I would be declined the fall 2022 position because that meant that I was spending spring 2022 just vibing and taking unnecessary classes. But I really am glad that I used my spring 2022 to retake my AMP2. So this was where the hustle came in for me. I had to really work on communicating with the community college that I got my associate's degree from. So I was calling, I was emailing, I was doing any type of communication I could to get enrolled in AMP2 at the community college because, guys, I was getting in this program by fire, by force. And I called them and I knew that it was the best option for me to get into their program because they had an 8-week program that would get me through AMP2 by the end of the year to where I could apply for my school's spring 2023 program, which application was opened in summer. It's very confusing, I know, but think of it like this. You can't get into the fall cohort unless you apply by January. You can't get into the spring cohort unless you apply by June. So during this time that I'm hustling to get my AMP2 grade for the second time, it's March. June is when the application was open for the spring 2023 program. So I was hustling from March to June to find an AMP2 course that I could take, get an A on, submit the transcript to my school, and then get my ass at nursing school. Like, the hustle was real. So it taught me a lesson of like, do your best the first time. Like, I wouldn't wish this on anybody. Retaking a course, especially when you already know the content, but with a different professor who doesn't understand how to teach or what teaching is, it's the worst. It's not even you at that point. It's the school, it's the professor. Don't blame yourself. And at first I thought it was me. I thought I was not learning the content well, but I realized it was just the professor. How do I go from getting a C in AMP2 in fall of 2022 to getting a 50 halfway through the semester? I was very eager at this point in time to get this AMP2 grade out of the way. I refused to take chemistry. I refused to take it back in 2021 when I had that whole summer. I was like, I'm not doing this. I can't. And I also didn't take any summer classes during this time frame because I just didn't find them necessary. I just very much believe when school's in session, school's in session. I will do my homework, all of my assignments, be on my laptop for the 9 months that we're in school. You're not gonna get anything more out of me during summer. That's it. That's my time to work. That's my time to visit family, hang out with friends, and just be a human. So I was like, yeah, I cannot do school and summer at the same time. That just wasn't for me. So I decided not to do chemistry in 2021, which would have been the smarter idea. So I'm telling you now, if you have the option, definitely take your summer courses when they are available, because if that was the case, I would have already been in the program of fall 2022. But it's okay because God works things out for the greater good, and I'm blessed with where I am now. But sidetrack, let's get back to the story. At this point, I was like, okay, I need to get into AMP2. So I was calling the school and they were like, hey, we have an opening. It's gonna be a Maymester course. Now, if you didn't know, a lot of colleges, community colleges, They are willing to offer like winter semester courses or Maymester courses without it being a full-term semester. So that's pretty much what I did. I took that course honestly in like 4 weeks, if I'm being real, because I had to submit a payment for this course, guys. I had to pay for this course out of my pockets, my own money, just so I could get into this program by the time I wanted to, because if not, I was gonna be in this school till 2026. That's a stretch, but like you get the idea. So I went ahead and paid for the class, took AMP2 in 4 weeks, and it was the easiest AMP2 course I have ever taken. When I tell you guys I did not study, I didn't lift one finger on a book. I had already memorized everything from the previous 2 times I tried to take this course, so it was like a breeze. So I didn't even study for this one. I was just taking the test, and the test was like the same as the quiz. Like, it was such an easy course. I wish I had taken this class sooner. So once I finished that course, the problem was getting it on my transcript and submitting it to my school by the time of the application. Somehow, some way, my God worked a miracle, because I was able to finish that course 2 days before the application of the nursing school program for spring 2023 opened. I finished it, called the school for a quick transcript, like, hey, I need y'all to submit this really quick. I know it's not officially out, but give me my grade. I need to turn this thing in. I finished it, applied, submitted on the day the application opened, and I just prayed. That whole summer of 2022, I was on edge for my life. Guys, I was so nervous because I didn't know if they were gonna accept this course that I had just taken in 4 weeks. I didn't know if they were gonna accept how late the grade came in. It was such a time crunch from the time I finished the course to the time that the application opened. So I was on edge all summer of 2022, just praying, like, God, if I'm meant to be here, let me go to the school's nursing program. But also within this time, I took it upon myself to start looking into other nursing programs just in case I wasn't able to get in. So I started looking at other nursing programs around my area, because you just never know. Like, you never know. It's such a tight, close call. So figuring out that I got into the program in September, which was my birthday month, it was just the biggest blessing ever. And I'll insert a clip when I find out. Guys, I was so happy. Dude, like, was just replying to the email that she sent me back on August 25th when she said, Selena, your degree plan is currently still under review. It's currently frozen because you took AMP in the summer, this and that, and we're reviewing your grades from the past, this and that. So I was thinking, oh, maybe I'm not actually gonna get in. But what? I just got into nursing school. Did I really just get into nursing school? Like, finally. I didn't find out until 5 p.m. that day. And 5 p.m. is usually the cutoff time for emails with my school's nursing program. So at that point, I was thinking, I didn't make it. This is it. I'm not meant to be here. I can't. So I was really thinking, like, dang, I should have applied for these other schools' nursing programs. Like, what am I gonna do? And then I got that email. And that email, y'all, I was just like, glory to God. That email made me the happiest I had ever been. Like, knowing I had worked so hard to get in this position, to even be called a nursing student, like, that in itself has a title to me. And I'm so glad that I'm in the position I am now. And even though it was a hustle, I just want to let you guys know, by any means, you can get this degree. By any means, you can get in this program. If you have to go out of your way to find classes outside of your school's institution, just find a way to transfer it back and apply. Really, although I thought that I had to take every single class here, I had taken almost every single science course at this institution. So taking one science course outside wasn't gonna hurt me that much, even though it would take away a few points. But I was just glad I was able to get that out of the way. When it comes to nursing school entrance exams, I know there's the HESI and I know there's the TEAS. For me, I took the TEAS in fall of 2021. I didn't find that to be too hard to study for. It's like studying for your national exams, just with nursing info on it. So I mainly focused on the science portion, which included a lot of anatomy and really just understanding like the physiological parts and stuff like that. I would just say, when it comes to studying for that, focus on getting a study book or a study guide and really just reviewing your anatomy, because I did take it once before in spring of 2021 and I missed it by 1 point. I was so pissed. But when I took AMP2, everything made more sense, and I actually passed it way better than I expected to. So that was really a blessing. However, I had to pay for that test. But other than that, it was a pretty simple test to take. It was such a journey just learning myself through this whole process of even getting into nursing school, and I find it to be really a blessing that I was able to get in on the terms that I did, because if I'm being really real with you guys, I really don't think I was meant to even get in at that time period. I really think that I was supposed to be at another school, or maybe this just wasn't the school for me. However, I'm so blessed that I was able to get in under the circumstances, and now that I'm officially in the program, I'm even more excited to share my journey with you guys. If you guys want any more detail on the classes I took, how I studied for those, or just what they consisted of, please let me know in the comments down below. Sorry if this video was a little bit all over the place. I just had a lot to share, and honestly nothing was organized enough because my nursing school journey was just all over the place with so much going on at the same time. You know, you're balancing your prereqs, you're balancing school, and I was working through all of this. I was working part-time through my whole getting into nursing school phase, so jumping from jobs to jobs, like I was everywhere, guys, and it was really just a process. So I'm glad that it paid off, and I'm officially a nursing student, and I hope you guys really enjoyed this video, and go ahead and hit that like button too, girl. You know you want to. Also, I'd appreciate if you subscribe, and I hope to see you guys in my next week's video. Bye.